And guys, I'm recording this meeting. This is day 3, Computers, Introduction to Computers class. It's your instructor, Luke Bechtel, adeptly assisted by Ms. Christina Argust. And today is cut, copy, and paste. And we make videos for these lessons, and we put them online, and we send out an email so that in case you ever want to go back and look over this stuff again, you'll have the accessibility to do that. All right. So cut, copy, and paste. Cut, copy, and paste. Cut and copy are kind of like cousins, and then paste would be, kind of goes with both of them. All right? And let me get rid of that thing there. So we can cut and copy and paste in all Microsoft applications, as well as the Internet. We can copy in the Internet. We can't cut in the Internet, and I'll explain that here in a moment. But just starting out with copy and paste. Okay, if I want to cut or copy text, what do I first have to do?
Highlight.
Very good, very good. I have to highlight it. I got to hold down the left clicker of my mouse and move the mouse physically over in one or the other direction, up or down, left or right. And this highlights things. Now, we'll start out with copy. Or actually, we'll start with cut, because that's what it says here. So to cut, I'm going to select the text as we have, and there's a number of ways we can cut. The keyboard shortcut, I'm going to talk more about keyboard shortcuts next week, it's Control X. So I hold down Control on the keyboard and tap the X. Now that is very important that we always want to hold down the Control, but just lightly tap the key. Doesn't matter so much with cut, because you can only cut something once. However, with paste, you'll see why we don't ever want to hold down that key, that letter key. All right, so I've cut my text. Another way would be to use these scissors, which are up here in, we'll highlight it again. We'll do a Control Z. Remember, that's undo. So if I want to cut, I can also select up here from the ribbon, the little scissors icon says cut right next to it, tells us. Cut that way as well. Or I could even right-click with my mouse and cut. Very first selection at the top of the menu. All of those give cut. So then to paste, I want to make sure that I'm positioning my blinking cursor where I want my text to be inserted. Because remember, a computer only does what we tell it to do. So say, for instance, the last place I had my cursor was here, but I want my paste up here. If I don't tell the computer that's where I want it, Control V, paste. Then it pastes in a place I don't want it. Control Z to undo. So we always want to make sure we're clicking at the proper insertion point where we want to paste our text.
You don't want to.
Just pretend that I do. All right. So to paste, there's a couple ways as well. Shortcut by the keyboard is Control V. I can also paste from up here. Paste button, top left, right under File, paste. Control Z to undo. I can right-click the area, paste. Paste options. With text, it's pretty simple. You could just hit the black A. And the reason you have those choices is for copying from the Internet. We're going to come to that in a moment. I can paste that way as well. Little paste options menu in case I wanted to change my mind on how I want it pasted. And finally, Control V. Now watch what happens when I don't tap that V key, but I hold it down. Whoa, Lord! I don't want 20, I don't want 31 of these. So make sure you're tapping that letter key. Tapping. Only tapping once, not holding. And again, some of the keyboard shortcuts doesn't matter so much, like Control X, but other ones like Control V or Control Z makes a big difference. Just tap that key. All right, copying works exactly the same.
Just tap the X.
Just tap the letter key. When you're doing a keyboard shortcut, we're going to do more with keyboard shortcuts.
Hold the Control and just tap.
Right. Hold the Control and hold that down as hard as your heart content, but just tap that key. Tap that key. Well, that's when you want to move text from one place to another. Move text, move images, wherever. Say, for instance, a great question though, Roy. Say I'm having an email here. Maybe I want this entire document or this entire paragraph in my email. Well, I don't want to retype it, do I? Control C, copy. It's important also to realize when you do a Control C, it looks like nothing's happened, but something has happened. And the best way to figure out if something's happened is to try to paste it. Control V is paste. There's everything I had. That's why we use cut and paste. We want to move text from one area to another. All right? If I hadn't copied it properly, I'd hit Control V and nothing would happen. That's literally the only way we can verify that we've done a Control C properly. Because there's nothing, it's same with Control S for save. There's nothing that demonstrably happens to let us know something has occurred until we try to, you know, test our hypothesis, so to speak. Okay. What's next here? What's next? So you get the idea. Highlight. Also copy button up here in the ribbon. Right click, copy option in your right click menu as well.
You mean cut?
No, I'm doing copy now. But same difference for cut. Cut, copy, and paste you can do in 3 ways. From the right click menu, from the ribbon of either your Word document or of your Microsoft Outlook email window or Excel. Enough about that for right now, though, because we're not working with Excel this class. Or finally, the keyboard shortcuts. Okay? All right. Beyond text. You can even cut and paste or copy or paste files, folders, and programs. So, for instance, go to my Dropbox. Maybe I want to get day 3. I want to get that whole folder out of there. Control X. Or Control C more appropriately, because I don't want to cut it out of there. But say I want to paste it. Paste options. Oh, can't do that. That's too much in there. Let's say I wanted to move it to my documents folder. I could paste it in here. Paste the whole folder. It would take a while because there's a lot of stuff in it. But just to illustrate that you can do multiple. Actually, we'll do this. This is a little easier because it's smaller. The bigger something is that you're trying to copy, the longer or cut, the longer it takes, by the way. All right, so cut.
What's the difference between cut and copy?
Remember, copy, wherever you're copying it from, it stays there.
Right.
Whereas cut, it removes it physically from wherever you're taking it from.
All right.
All right. So here, maybe I want to put this in my pictures. Paste. Boom. There it goes. So you can copy a whole folder, copy a whole file. Maybe I want to copy just this file, right? Day 3 plan. Copy. My Luke folder. Paste. Paste. I don't want it in there, so get out of it. Control Z. Okay, and finally, guys, the internet. The internet. Now, this is where it gets kind of kooky. We also can copy images. Well, that's a whole other lesson on that coming up. So we're not going to do too much with that right now. We'll do Abraham Lincoln.
You already did it with Bon Jovi.
Right. Okay. Say I want to copy, I go to Wikipedia, right? Maybe I'm writing a report, and I'm doing something, I want to copy all this text. First and foremost, I can't cut this. Who knows why?
Because it would remove it.
In a sense, sure. There's a law. This is copyrighted material, potentially. You're right, Teresa, we can't. But why can't we? The reason is this isn't ours. Well, we don't know about getting in trouble. It's just physically impossible. Because as Angela is pointing out, A, this isn't our property. But B, and more importantly, whenever you're seeing anything on a web page, it's actually written in computer code. So it's coded to appear. And we don't have access to that code. So that's why we can't remove it. We physically don't have the ability to do so.
You don't build test papers or anything.
Well, even if you, well, yeah, I mean, if you're a computer science major, you could probably figure out how to do it. But it would screw up the web page also. The web page wouldn't run because it would be missing components. Anyway, but we can copy. We can copy. Works exactly the same. It's exactly the same here. Right click, copy, Control C. We don't have a ribbon here because it's an Internet Explorer page, but the other two options work just fine. Now, an interesting thing. As you may have noticed, I've also highlighted Lincoln's picture and this text. That's all going to get copied along with the text that I've copied. Now, here's the funny part. This is why we have paste options. If I just want to paste, so I'll do a Control V. Whoa, what's all that nonsense? Where's the picture even? Oh, there's the picture. That ironically, that actually copied. Usually it won't. Usually you have to copy the picture individually or it'll just appear as text. In fact, I'm going to do a better example of that so you guys can see what I mean. So let's go out of here. And let's highlight this stuff. All right. Control C. Word document. Control V. Yeah, what's all that? Oh, God, what's this? This is what the picture actually looks like. Right, John, this is the computer code. This is the code that's written into that web page. This makes the picture appear where it does on our search results. But we don't want this. My God, we don't want this. So,
how come that other lady kept saying Wikipedia, they change, people go in and change it every day? How can they?
It's a bit off topic. I will answer that question, but give me a second.
Right.
Okay, so just to finish what I was saying here, paste options. This is exactly why we have this little rectangle. Because sooner or later you're gonna paste something in a way you don't want. Whenever we're copying from the internet, we only want this paste option. This is text only. Otherwise, we'll get a whole bunch of code, hyperlinks, and other crap we don't want. All right? Just to briefly answer your question, Teresa, most but not all Wikipedia pages do have the ability for a user to come in and edit it. Now, if it's a contentious page, like say George W. Bush's page, they're locked.
Right.
You can try to edit George W. Bush's page, you can't. Same with Donald Trump's at this point, I'm sure. So certain pages are locked, but most give the user the ability to add or otherwise augment or even challenge information that is presented. I actually enjoy Wikipedia. I read it every day. There is a let me show you here. There is a desktop to Wikipedia.
Mhm.
Oh God, getting a little off topic, but anyway. Here we go. So this everyday changes. Gives you anniversaries of this day, gives you little did you know trivia snippets in the news, a featured article, and a featured picture. Very interesting. And as I enjoy trivia, I read this every morning on the toilet. Okay. Moving on. So what was your question exactly, Teresa?
No, she was saying like that Wikipedia is not reliable because people go in and change the facts.
It's perfectly reliable for a couple of reasons. One, when you edit a Wikipedia page, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers that every day they get stuff from their email boxes of pages that have been changed, and they have to approve it actually before that change will take effect. So if they challenge what you put in, it'll never appear. The other reason is that if any Wikipedia page is worth its muster, it has a very extensive works cited references section. Each of these, as long as they exist, are bona fide, meaning this proves the information that's being put on there. But enough about that. We're getting off topic. All right. That really is about it for cut, copy, and paste. Were there any questions? Any questions? Nope. All right. Well,
So wait. So, okay, let's say we're going in the internet, right? And we're looking up flowers.
yeah, all right. Copying an image is a little different. We're going to have a whole other unit on that in a couple days, but just to give you a quick
Flowers on there.
Okay. With Google's really cool because it has an images bank.
Okay.
All right. So say we wanted to save this, we would actually say save picture as, not copy.
Right.
We could try to copy it, and sometimes it'll work, but sometimes it won't. Like now. See, I tried Control V, nothing happened. All right. Most pictures on the internet you can't copy in the same way you can copy text. However, you can save them. Save picture as. Save it to your pictures library, and then you can insert it in a Word document. Again, we're going to have a whole lesson on that coming up, so I'm not going to speak any more about that right now. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Gene?
After you selected the text,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you say press Control X.
If you want to cut, you'd press Control X, or you'd right click and hit select cut, or you'd select cut from your ribbon menu in Word or your email or wherever you were. All right. Okay. So it is break time, guys. When you get back, your assignment will be waiting for you in your email. See you back here in 15 minutes. Flat.
We said at 4 o'clock.
What?
We said at 4 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
All of a sudden, that's 4 hours.
It's 3 hours. Class is 1 to 3.
Got an hour for lunch.
If you were in here from 12 to 1, that's your own fault. All right.
You said Ms. Louise is in a meeting?
No, she's in class with Wade, but you can look for her now since it's break time.